As a licensed therapist working with men, every week I see guys come in with status, money, and relationships feeling like failures. I wasn't any different. Until my 40s, my accomplishments couldn't outpace my depression. It was my patients who taught me how to do better. My colleague Philip and I break down how men confuse survival mode with depression and how improvement beats success every time.
I take a holistic approach to clients because even if we're looking at the psychological and mental aspect of the service that you're wanting to receive, we need to look at everything that might be affecting this. So we're going to look at, and maybe it's not down to the number, your finances, your romantic life, your social relationships and platonic ones, your drinking water, your vices, maybe it's some type of other substance, medication, sleep, nutrition, and maybe your spiritual if you are religious and that type of aspect. And then look at, well, what things, scale 1 to 10, everything's a 10 and it's perfect and it can't get better and I'm okay in this area of life. And these are the areas that are not it. Do you break it down logically with children up into a man? It's going to be the same type of way. And so it's saying, let's start there. Because if I wasn't making money, I was disappointed in myself all the time. I'm not getting at least 6 hours of sleep. I'm not getting laid. I'm only eating high caloric, processed, high fat foods. I'm not drinking enough water. And I think maybe I mentioned that you're not making enough money. I think anybody would kind of be depressed and anxious about a lot of things.
That always bothers me when people frame that as a mental health problem.
Right, exactly.
Like a guy's living out of his car with no resources. He's not depressed. He's living in his car with no resources. He needs help.
Right. It's an adjustment. Yeah, it's not. Yeah. And you have depressive symptoms and anxious symptoms. It doesn't necessarily make you depressed. Yeah. So to me, it's kind of like, let's explore those avenues of where we can do with that. And then to your point of, hey, man, strength-based and looking at your valuables. Hey, man, you're really good over here. And I've had people that are 6 figures and some 7-figure earners where it's like, hey, man, you're killing it. You're at the top of the food chain financially, top of the SCS. You're highly educated. You manage people. You have these stock options. You are great. You have these titles and all these acronyms after your name. And your LinkedIn looks amazing. But on this area of your life, it's not working. There is no correlation to that being a 9 or a 10 with the areas of your life that are a 5 or 4 or a 3. And so humble yourself in some type of way to say, no, I need to attend to this. You could be in a board meeting, connect people, and be on a stage and articulate yourself very well. But you have trouble communicating with your significant other when they hurt your feelings. It's not the same.
But if you're looking at all the aspects of your life and critical pieces that you need are missing, it's not going to be about an emotional process. It's going to be about action. Like if you don't have the money to buy the food that you need, to buy the shelter that you need, to do the things that you need to do to feel good and have the bandwidth to even figure out who you want to be, that's your number one problem before we can do anything else. If you're a guy who's crushed everything on paper financially, like you're talking about that dude that's just everything professionally is going his way, but his kids hate him and his wife is about to leave him, right? Okay, man, we've got to take where you're at and assess it to see where the change is going to be. And I love that frame for it. I'm trying to think of how we can give that to the guys that are listening that aren't going to have a therapist to walk it through them. So what were you said 5 different areas. Do you remember what they were? Like, what are the assessment points?
Yeah. Take a piece of paper just like I do with them, or a board or whiteboard. Write down you, and then write down those different aspects of those areas of your life. So it can be health, which is food, water, and sleep. And you could put sex in there too, because that's a very beneficial thing for you. It could be socially platonic, so your family relationships, your professional relationships, your romantic relationships and the quality of that, whoever or whatever that you are in a relationship with. Financially, again, there is some correlation with negative experiences, being in more financial stress or struggle. And then emotionally, I would say where you feel more emotions than others. So Some men may be prone to neuroticism, which is the susceptibility to negative emotions, than others. It could be you get depressed during the winter. You can say that when you look at it, yeah, I haven't been working out as much, and that means my body's not getting good quality sleep, and that's why I'm irritated and angry all the time. And when my wife drops that last needle on the camel's back, it just breaks me, and I'm like, why am I reacting this way?
Yeah.
It's a chain effect. So just look at those areas and then do a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, hey, this is perfect and I don't need to change it and nothing is wrong in this area of my life. But maybe things that are a 6, 5, and a 4 that could have improvement, attend to those. And so utilize some of the attributes, characters, and variables from your strengths and see how we can, or you can, attend to contributing that to the areas of your life that you need improvement on. And that's helpful for us as professionals too, because again, we're not trying to fix every problem. What we're trying to do is make you have less of what you are experiencing. So I'm very transparent with every client. If you're prone to anxiety, depression, and you've been through trauma, I'm sorry, those are things that you're going to have to manage for the rest of your life. If you need medication or continued therapy, or you find avenues in order to manage those variables, that's great. But if you come to therapy, it's not this aha healing moment. It's about, if I'm at an 8 and Phil helps me get down to a 5, that's improvement. So that's why you have to be mindful and be able to sit in those situations, because one, they're going to come up again. And maybe it's something genetically or just in your environment, or just something that you're just prone to experiencing more than others. So how do you manage that for yourself? And that is where the improvement is coming in. Like, I'm not isolating anymore. From 5 minutes to 1 minute, if you hang out with you're not hanging out with your buddy at all, but then you hang out once a week, well, great. That's improvement. Like, what makes you want to do that? Okay, now we have Friday sets that no matter what, we're going to go watch the game at so-and-so. That's great. Like, what makes you want to have that change? Hey, Phil, I can't work out 7 days a week, but I'm working out from no days, and now I'm at the 3. Great. Awesome.
I think that what you're touching on is so important, because when I hear self-help guys, and I think you're relating to this now, right? We're clinicians. We're very good at sitting in front of somebody and kind of picking apart what they're doing with them. But when we step back from that and we try to get help to guys who can't have that guide, who doesn't have that microscope, when we talk about things like, hey, these aspects of your life, you got your emotional health, your physical health, your social health, and your financial health, take a look and do some assessment on that. I think so many guys can get so overwhelmed where when they write all that out and they're like, man, I'm nowhere. I have one friend, one parent that I talk to, no girlfriend, no church, no community. I've got a crap job that barely pays my bills. I can't afford good food to take care of myself. I can't afford a gym membership. I don't even know what I'm feeling. My emotions are so out of touch. I'm just dissociated from everything most of the time. I don't know what's going on. That guy struggles because when he hears these conversations from a lot of coaches, it's the end that they talk about. Like, hey, when you do these things, this is where you're going to be. And they start measuring success as opposed to improvement. And so I love how you're highlighting the need that once you get these metrics that you're building for yourself, measure improvement, don't worry so much about success. It's the only way to keep that motivation alive. Otherwise, it just becomes too crushing. It's absolutely crushing if you just keep setting the end goal and looking how you're not there. It's too much. This usually connects to two things.